Welcome back to Up Front. It's still over a year and a half away, but right now more Democrats have said they are not running for governor than have announced that they're in. Last week, former state Senator Tim Cullen said he would not run after spending months exploring a bid. That followed the announcement from La Crosse area Congressman Ron Kind last month that he too would not run. While several more people are thinking about it, as it stands, the only declared Democratic candidate for governor right now is 25-year-old Bob Harlow, a Stanford graduate and Barneveld resident whose 8-point platform includes building high-speed rail. Is there a hang-up for Democrats wanting to challenge Republican Governor Scott Walker? We're asking Democratic strategist Joe Zepecki, who worked on the Burke 2014 campaign and the Obama 2012 campaign in Wisconsin. It's good to have you back on the program.
Thanks for having me.
So you're one of these people who's not terribly concerned that we don't have 4 or 5 people in the race right now. Why is that?
I'm not. If you look historically, it's still very early in the calendar. 2014 campaign for governor I was involved in, as you noted. Mary Burke didn't announce her candidacy until early October of 2013. And I've never had anybody say to me, boy, if only Mary Burke had gotten in the spring or the summer, she would have beat Scott Walker.
So did money make a difference, though, and her ability to wait it out? I mean, surely that plays some role in it.
Absolutely. Listen, the path to victory begins with putting together a budget for what it takes to win, and then a plan for how to raise that money. That calculus is different for everybody. If you're an incumbent office holder, if you've run and lost before, or never run before at all. If you're a business person who has some personal resources you're willing to put into a race, that calculus is going to be different for everybody. And I'm really encouraged by the number of people who are looking at this right now. There are more people thinking about running for governor who haven't made up their mind yet today on the Democratic side than there were 4 years ago at this time.
Are these good, credible candidates?
I believe that they are, whether it's Sue Happ or Dana Wachs, who are people who represent redder, rural parts of the state and are proud progressive Democrats. Somebody like Dane County Executive Joe Parisi, who has led an economy where job creation is vastly outpacing the state. I'm really encouraged by the number of people looking at it.
And we should point out you're not employed by any of those people right now. That's an important point. I want to talk about the Tim Cullen announcement, though. Because it raises a couple questions. First of all, let me just get your reaction. There were a lot of people only a couple of months ago who told me he's in, he's going to run. Were you surprised that he decided not to run?
A little bit. He had been pretty set on doing it, but I think that as he did that budget math and looked at what it would take to win a primary in a general election, just decided that he wasn't able to do that.
A couple of things in what he said. One of them was money. You have to spend 3 to 4 hours on the phone every day raising money. Scott Walker is going to have $45 million, presuming he's the candidate, $45 million, and we might raise $1 to $3 million. Money is a big issue. That's the first point. You agree with that? Isn't that a daunting issue for Democrats this time around?
It is an issue, but I don't think the solution is to bemoan the idea of selling yourself to potential campaign donors one phone call at a time. Listen, we have business people in this state, entrepreneurs, who every day are out there trying to get capital for their startups. If you want to be governor and you can't commit to making that case to get contributions behind your vision for the state of Wisconsin, you don't have any business running for governor.
So the fundraising for you, that's just part of the deal as it exists today.
It is part of the deal, and there are different ways to get to your budget. You can take I'm going to chain myself to a desk and call people up and try and raise $5,000 to $10,000 at a time. Or you can say, I'm going to go with a Bernie Sanders style approach and raise my money online in low dollar amounts. There's precedent here in Wisconsin. I think it was the Garvey Lawton ticket a number of years ago who said they wouldn't take any contributions over a certain dollar amount, well below what state law said. There are different ways to do this. And if you have a compelling message for the people of Wisconsin and a vision for where you want to take the state, that can catch fire in an instant these days.
So here's the other point that comes with the Cullen announcement. He's what you would call a moderate Democrat. He may have gone to Illinois, but he's still a moderate Democrat. Isn't that a problem for Democrats this time around? You've got part of the party that says we got to move left, we've got to be more progressive, but yet to beat Scott Walker, you have to get independence, you have to get that moderate middle. Isn't that a real problem for Democrats?
I think it's one of the challenges that any political party faces right now. The Republican Party is moving further and further to the right in some people's eyes. In some people's eyes, the Democratic Party is moving further and further to the left. At some point, there's going to be a reckoning where people realize we got to find a way to come together and work together. And so whether it's someone who says, I would never accept a job in a Republican administration, or Tim Cullen, who did serve in Governor Thompson's administration, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there are people out there, Democrats and independents, who are going, can't we just turn the volume down a little bit? Can't we figure out how to come together and work on these problems? Because there are big problems facing the state.
15 seconds left. Scott Walker, how formidable a candidate will he be in 2018?
I think that comes down to the national political environment. Being a Republican could turn out to be a very big problem for anyone in 2018, no matter how much money they raise and no matter what their track record has been in the past.
No matter the unemployment rate, no matter that doesn't.
National attitudes and moods are increasingly the big factor in state elections. So I think there's a lot that's happening in Washington right now that's going to affect the landscape here in Wisconsin and across the country.
Joe Zepecki is a Democratic strategist, has his own business right now. It's good to have you back on the program. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thanks.
Coming up next on Up Front, only one contested race on the statewide ballot Tuesday, but is it an office that still matters? And remember, you can keep the conversation going throughout the week by following me at Mike Boucher on Twitter.